Chapter 6. Time to talk. Simon, is it really you? I asked.
Yes, Faye. I put the note in your bag. I work in the lost property office. But why are you looking for me?
It's a long story, I said. We talked for the next 30 minutes.
Look, I'm 25 years old,
said Simon.
I'm not a child. Why didn't Mum tell me about my real dad? I needed to leave home. I needed time to think. Do you understand?
Yes, and your mother understands too. But she wants you to come back home.
Well, I have a room in a flat now. Ahmed helped me to find it. I don't want to live with my mother again.
Is that Ahmed Khan? I asked.
Yes, that's right. He has lots of shops in London. Some of them have flats upstairs. Ahmed told me about your visit to his shop.
Yes, I met him. But he didn't tell me about your flat.
I know. I told him, please don't give people my address. Ahmed always keeps his promises. He's a very good friend.
So, Ahmed Khan's story wasn't all true. But he only wanted to protect Simon. I understood. You don't need to leave your flat, Simon, I said. But your mother wants to see you.
I'm not ready to see her. Look, Faye, why are you so interested in us? This is nothing to do with you.
I know that, I said. But your mother called me. She asked for my help. Family is important, you know. We sometimes forget it, but it's true. My mother died 6 months ago. I didn't talk to her for a long time before she died. And now, I can never make friends with her again. You and your mother need to talk.
Okay, then perhaps you can help me.
Of course, I said. Just then, I had a good idea. I could help the Jones family and change my show at the same time. I'm going to do my best, but you must help me too. I wrote Simon's telephone number in my notebook. Then I went back to the office excitedly. I had work to do. I needed to speak to Wing about Jason too. I worked hard in Studio 5 for the rest of the day. I saw Wing many times, but we couldn't talk. Before I went home, I called Simon and then Mrs. Jones. I asked Mrs. Jones, "Can you come to Sun Radio to talk on the Friends Hour?" I didn't tell her about Simon. The next day was Saturday. Wing met Simon at 9:30. I met Mrs. Jones at 10 o'clock. We're going to talk about families on today's show, I told her. We went into Studio 5 at 10:50. The show began at 11 o'clock.
4, 3, 2, 1, on air.
I looked at Mrs. Jones and smiled. The music played. My name's Faye Friend, and this is the Friends Hour. Today, we're talking about families. My guest is Margaret Jones. Mrs. Jones talked about Simon. Simon listened to the show in Wing's office, but Mrs. Jones didn't know that. She told the listeners about her family and about Simon's real father.
Jeff is Simon's real father, but he didn't want children. He was selfish, and he didn't want to marry me. I was pregnant, but he wasn't interested. He went to live in Australia, and I never saw him again.
So, what about your husband, Peter? What was he like? I asked.
Peter Jones was a very different man. He truly loved me, and he wanted to be a good father to Simon. He married me before Simon was born. We never talked about Jeff after that. We were happy. I never found the right time to tell Simon. Then, one day, he found some letters from Jeff. He didn't understand. He was angry with me. And he left home.
We talked on air for 15 minutes. Then I asked Mrs. Jones, "Can you close your eyes for a minute?" At first, she didn't understand, but then she closed them. At the same time, Simon came into Studio 5. Then Mrs. Jones opened her eyes. For a second, they didn't say a thing. Then, suddenly, Mrs. Jones spoke.
"I'm really happy to see you, Simon."
It was really difficult for you, Mum, and I never knew. Peter was a true father to me. He was wonderful. Why didn't you tell me?
I'm sorry. I wanted to tell you, but I never found the right time.
It doesn't matter. We can talk now. It was wrong of me to walk out. I'm sorry.
They were happy and sad at the same time. They talked and talked. I was really excited. I felt good about helping the Jones family. And I felt good about the show too. Then I remembered the meeting with Jason on Monday. And I remembered about Wing too. I felt terrible again. On Sunday, I stayed in bed for a long time. I wanted to forget about Monday. I thought about getting a new job. But I didn't want to leave Sun Radio, Studio 5, or the Friends Hour. Suddenly, I understood something. I didn't want to lose my job, but most of all, I didn't want to lose Wing. I was in love with him. I went to work early on Monday morning. My meeting with Jason was at 10 o'clock. At 9:30, Wing came into the studio. I was ready to talk to him. I loved him, not Jason. He needed to know. "Wing, we need to talk," I said. "It's about me and Jason. You don't understand."
Yes, I do, Faye. It's nothing to do with me. Forget it,
he said. Then he left the room. I wanted to cry. I must tell him the truth, I thought. So I wrote a note for him. Don't you understand? I love you, Wing, not Jason. Love, Faye. But I didn't give the note to Wing in the end. I couldn't. I felt stupid about it. Suddenly, I looked at my watch. It was 10 o'clock. Time for my meeting. I left the note on my desk and ran to Jason's office. I knocked on Jason's door and waited. I felt really ill.
Come in, Faye,
I heard. But it wasn't Jason's voice. It was a woman. I went into the room and saw 2 people there. Jason and his boss, Amy Jackson.
Sit down, Faye,
said Amy. Jason said nothing. I'm going to lose my job, I thought.
Faye, the new Friends Hour show on Saturday was truly wonderful,
said Amy.
The listeners loved it, and we want you to do the same show, all about families and their problems, every day. You get a pay rise to go with your new job too.
Jason tried to smile, but he couldn't.
Jason's moving up to Studio 10 next month,
said Amy.
So you can have his office on this floor. And Wing can work on a new show too. He's ready for it. Please tell him the news. He can see me about it this afternoon.
I left Jason's office. I felt happy about the show and happy for Wing. I wanted to tell him the good news. I found him in my office with a big smile on his face.
Faye, why didn't you tell me before?
He said. He hugged me and kissed me. What do you mean? I laughed. Do you know about our new jobs?
New jobs? No, don't be stupid. I found your note on the desk. I read it. And I love you too, Faye.
I kissed him back. That was a month ago. Now my new show is on air every day. The listeners love the Friends Hour. Lots of interesting people call me. They're looking for lost friends and family. Things are different in Studio 5 too. I don't work with Wing these days. He has a new show. I never see him at work, but it doesn't matter, because he's my boyfriend. And we're really very happy, Wing and I.